All right, everyone, let's talk about assignments. Now, assignments are a little bit different than forums because assignments are defined as some object, some document that the participants have to create and upload into InSync Central in order to get the pass grade. Now, some assignments also get assessed by the facilitator, and other assignments are just simply a pass-fail, so that once they upload the assignment, they get the grade. So I'm going to start with the example of in design. Just keep in mind that not all certificates have assignments. So primarily those are going to be design, ESP, and capstone are the certificate programs where people have to create something and load it up into InSync Central. So this is an example of a design. And I'm going to scroll down to our session 5. And the participants had to submit a design submission. So if I click on that assignment, you'll see it takes me to this little area here where I'm going to click on the View the Submitted Assignments. Then at this point, you'll see that I have a list of all the different participants and a list of who's turned in what. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with this person here, Daniel, and you can see that he's submitted quite a few items, but he doesn't have a grade yet. The easiest way to grade this, and this is going to be the facilitator's job at this point, because the facilitator has to give some feedback on these designs. So we're going to go to the grade option here, and when we do that, it takes us to a different window that kind of lists out what kind of grades we are going to give him, and then it also lists out the items he's turned in. So as a facilitator, I'm going to download this item, I'm going to review it and make comments. And after I've made some comments, I'm going to upload my comments by clicking Choose File. Then I'm going to navigate to where my items are and load those in and upload that file. That's the first step. Then at this point, I can make any comments to Daniel that I want. And give him a grade of complete. When I go ahead and save, I can send a notification email that lets him know that I have looked at his assignment. I'm going to save those changes. And then you can see on this screen now, Daniel has marked a complete, and there are my comments. Now here's a little trick to this, is there are times, and this class is a perfect example, when there's certain assignments, if they turn their assignments in late, the facilitator is not going to grade them. However, they do need to get assigned a grade, and that would be the producer's role to do that. So I'll give you an example of that. I'm going to go back to web browsing because that should have already been turned in. And when I go look at that, I can look and see that everybody who's turned something in has been marked complete. If somebody hasn't, as a producer, I have to go in and mark those complete since they won't be getting any feedback. And this is a good example. Michelle Fisher here turned in her items September 6th, which was late. They were due to us before that. So Michelle did not get any feedback from the facilitator. However, we still need to make sure that she gets a complete grade, even though she didn't get feedback for that. I'm also going to point out that there's a few other classes that there's assignments that have to be turned in that don't necessarily have facilitator feedback, but they do need to have a grade. And I know that there's something that needs to be turned in for ESP as well as capstone. So here's a good example. This is a capstone certificate, and part of what they have to do for the first class is turn in a PowerPoint presentation. So if I go into that assignment, number 1 as the producer, and view the assignments, I need to make sure that all of them are marked as complete if they've turned it in. Notice there is no feedback. They'll be getting this feedback in the session live, but I still need to grade their assignments. So those are some examples on how we grade assignments. It's a similar grading that we're going to use for the final projects, and that's going to be the next video in this series.